Yeah, relative positioning and absolute positioning. So you remember the last time we were talking about like containers, like divs, remember? Okay. A div is just a container, okay? And like prior to that we've seen that HTML element can be nested within other element, okay? For instance, here in the body element we have this UL, this unordered list. Command S. So that's why this looks weird. Yeah. So nested. So an element in an HTML can be nested with another element. Like body, we have an UL, and within UL we have LIs. Okay, and then same applies to a div. So a div demo is just a box, a container. Why they come up with these divisions? To easily put many elements in a box and then easy to position them. To have a layout. For instance, if you land up on a website and you see a image here, text here, those are just boxes that are positioned in. So today we're going to see like how to use the relative positioning and absolute positioning. These are very key, important concepts. Even some people they're kind of advanced in HTML and they're confused in this positioning, how to position, because it can be confusing, but it's straightforward. Okay, so let's create a small document here. Like yeah, you can follow after me. So remember to use this trick. We're gonna create a container, and within this container we need like a paragraph, okay, and this arm with like 24 words, and then within this we need, okay, let's just do this. So we have a division, like we have a block element. You remember we talked about block? We have this block, this container. What do we have in it? A paragraph. So let's insert an image. So how do we insert an image? What's the yeah, img, and then source. Okay, so the img, and the source is what? An attribute. Okay, so you remember an attribute is always within the opening tag of an element. An attribute was, in other words, like it gives us more information about the tagging. And yeah, we have this image. Okay, and then we have more information about the image. Its location. It shows us the path, the source, and we put the path. Remember the path. Like if you put it in images folder, you're gonna put images, then slash, and then write the name of the image, like image.png or JPEG or GIF or. So here, like, and this alt. Remember what's this alt?
If you don't find the picture, that name that you use.
Alternative.
Yeah, this is an alternative. Alt. This is an alt text. Goes with the image. Sometimes it's for two reasons. One is for accessibility. Because there's blind people. They go through they can read a web page through screen readers. There are screen readers, like blind. but they go through web pages with the screen readers. And a screen reader cannot like describe an image. When it comes to an image, he says, he reads the alt text. This is an image of a house or something. And this is not, yeah, there is an article, there is a standard for that. I think it's 8 or something, 15 or something, I forgot. And the other thing, and sometimes if, like for those people who can see, sometimes, you know, the browser cannot load the page, I mean the image, then you can read the, yeah. You know, sometimes when you have like a slow internet, when you see the pages load, you see it you can read and then the page comes. That's an alt text. And those good for search engine too. If you have a business, and for instance you have an image of, I don't know, a camera or I don't know, something, you write the name of that. For instance, Sony 500 something, PNG. If you go to Google, that's how Google brings images. When you go to google.com and search for images, you know what I'm talking about? You do a search, you do, for instance, cameras, and then you do search and images. Google brings a lot of images. Where do the images come from? They come from all the websites. That's where you like give them alt and you name them. You name the image. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Sony 500.png or something.
Sometimes you do image or you do videos too.
Yeah, videos.
So video would be alternative as well.
Google, yeah, basically, you know, Google brings the name of the image. You name the image. You name it. Okay, you name it, and it's good to give it a name here too, because good. You're like you hit two birds with one stone. Okay, so here, like, we have a container that wraps everything, right? You see when I select wraps everything. Then we have another container that wraps this. So always when you're designing, you're developing things, you think in terms of boxes. It's something called the box model in terms of the HTML layouts. So here, what's within the content? We have an h1 tag and a p tag and then an image. Okay. So now let's move on to CSS. Let's style this and give each box a different color so that to show you exactly what's going on there. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to the head, and then you do a style. Again, this is not a recommended way to do it. We're gonna just just later on we're gonna move this into an external style sheet, an external, yeah. So okay. So now what we're gonna style? We want to style our this wrap. Yeah, Command S, Command C. So that's an ID. So an ID started with hashtag, right? Okay. Okay. So if you want, we want to give it a background. Just only we're going to give it a background and a width. Okay. So background. Give it a color that you. Background. I would give mine hashtag F8 F8 F8. Okay. Then Command S and refresh here. Yeah. Yeah, refresh. Yeah, this very subtle. Like let's make it an F5. Make it a little darker. F5. Yeah. You know, it's still a kind of. Yeah. Well, we'll go CC some radical thing, right? Yes. It's gonna be like, yeah. CC is like, okay. So you see the content is bumping against the
edges.
yeah. So what do we need here to give it a breathing room to the content? What do we need?
Padding.
A padding? Yeah. A padding of?
How's that?
A padding of, like, let's give it 20 pixels. And this, see now, like it's kind of, there is a breathing room, and it's. So what is this now? What did we style?
The container.
The wrap,
Right.
yeah.
uh,
And we have another container within this container.
content.
You see what I mean now?
Yes.
Yeah, hashtag.
And then let's give it a distinct a different color. So Command C.
hashtag content.
So what's the
Hashtag content. And then
not hashtag?
Oh, this is a
This is a class.
Dot.
It's a dot.
This is a dot. Okay. So what's the difference between an ID and a class?
Yeah,
ID is
unique.
Unique
Class can
one,
go for
yeah.
different classes.
absolutely.
And a class you can style different groups. Yeah, I mean like a group of elements you give them one class. Okay, so let's give it a background color of the hashtag F4 F4 F4. No, that's it. F4 F4 F4. And S. See? See the box within a box, right? And then we need to give it like breathing room too,
Yeah, we can
Right.
add.
like at 10 pixels probably. Like a padding of, well, let's say 10 pixels. Command S and refresh. You see, like you ended up with like a frame. So
في الآخر بدك تنزل فوق CCC حيجي 5
yeah, you can give it any color you want. You can just, we need like to have, and then we have, so we have this wraps the content, and the content wraps the content, and the body wraps everything, right? So let's style the body. Body.
Something is missing after the 30 templates.
Yeah, the semicolon. Yeah. Yeah, always the semicolon. Yeah, right. So you can hear. Let's style our body. So let's do the font. If we want to style our font, what's the standard size? What's the standard size? The font size of a
16
website?
14 to 16.
Between 14 and 16, right? Yeah, depending on your audience. If you're doing like a home care site, you need to bump it to 17. Okay, so just depending on. Okay, so the property name is the font size. Well, let's give it, in this case, let's give it 16 for the sake of this. Okay, 16 pixels. Okay. And then always the line height. Line height, I would say 1.5 m. And before that, we're going to put a font. Remember the font family I told you? Like it's very, you can find it in every computer. It's a web safe font. It's safe. Like you use it and it's in every computer, which is
It's Arial.
sans serif. And he's going to choose either Arial. Yes, sans serif. Okay. Yeah, just put sans serif, and the computer is going to choose whichever like version of the sans serif is available on the computer. Then like Control S and then refresh and see what's the difference. See the font changed. The font,
Yeah.
the font family and the font size, and you see the line height. You see, let me just like I'm gonna disable this. Command S. Check this. Check like between these two lines what's gonna happen when I take away the line height. Like between these two lines. Check what's gonna happen. See? The line like bumped into each other. That's the line height. Because you need to leave a space between a line and a line, right? So make it legible. So Command Z, Command S, put it back. There we go. Okay, so alright, so we have a body, and let's give a background color because it's going to help us in defining this relative positioning and absolute positioning. Let us give it a background of black.
The body.
Yeah. Command S. Well, black is kind of. let's do sky blue. Yeah, sky blue. I would do sky blue here. You could choose. You know, it doesn't matter. Like. Okay, so the point here is not the color. We're not like trying to beautify this, but we want to prove a concept of positioning elements. So we have ourselves a box within a box, and within the box of the body, because the body is a box itself. Okay, let's give it a width. Let's our wrap give it a width of the wrap width of like say 1000 pixels. Command S.
width ولا
Width. See, when I enlarge this, you see, like you remember the other day when we're, it's kind of to the left, this box. You know, have you ever had this experience of like going to a website, you open it and you find a website on the left-hand side? Yeah, many times I came across this. So they forgot to center their site. You know how to center? Do you remember? We talked about centering.
There's an attribute for
Yeah, there's an attribute for everything.
But order
Yeah.
was order. So margin was order.
Yeah, margin. So let's refresh now. See, it's just in the wrap. You know that's because that's the thing that wraps the site. Okay.
So is there center photo?
No, the margin.
Margin.
So basically, what you're asking the browser to do is it asks it to leave exact distance from both sides, left and right. CSS within the HTML documents. Now we're gonna do a separate file for an external. It's called external style sheet. External. It's outside the HTML. So okay. So we're gonna go and like let me just make this larger so that to avoid this confusion. Okay. So you're gonna copy all this from style to style, and then Command X or Control X.
Oh, we can do the. I forget the other one too.
Command.
Disable the
comments.
No, we want to take it away from there. because we don't want it there. Usually just now we know what CSS, what's a rule. Now we're never gonna put CSS in the head. To leave like two, this is HTML, this is CSS, and then they communicate through one link. We're gonna talk about now. Now we're gonna go to File, then New, and then do File. Yeah, that same file, save it as. Save it within your root folder. You know, your root folder. Like, where is mine here? Mine is new. Yes, yeah. Title, desktop, new site. Then you create a folder. Create a folder within your. Create a folder. Call it CSS. Then open it. And then save and give it the name. Give it the name of style dot CSS. So HTML has the extension of .html. CSS has to have the extension of style or anything you want, main or my styles, or usually the conventional names main CSS, which is the main styling of this page, or style is more common, style.css. So now we have an external style sheet, but if you go to let's minimize and see our little website. Can you save, Control S, then refresh? This shouldn't. I'm sorry? Yeah, the styling is gone, right? View, show sidebar. So mine is here, like Command S. See, all our styling is gone, right?
For me, it's a live preview error.
No, don't. Your styles are gone now, right? Now we're gonna dip into complex stuff. I mean, from next session onwards. Control S, just like a. هنا غير we're looking at a relative positioning and absolute positioning. And what is relative positioning? Relative positioning, yeah, when you move an element, you want to move an element without taking it away from the flow of the HTML. For instance, we have this H1, okay? If we say margin top, if we say like 50 pixels, okay? You look at 50 pixels and we refresh, you see it pushes the content. Yeah? Pushes the content and everything, okay? That's, let's see, relative positioning, it moves, okay, Control S, let's save, Control, yeah, refresh. Relative positioning, you move an element without moving other elements, without like taking it from its normal flow or the normal flow of the HTML. Example. So if you want to move it, you give it first a position of relative. And for HTML, if you want to move an element, it has to be in animation, especially when you deal with animation, it has to have a position relative. To move an element, it has to have a position. Okay, so now it has a position relative. So we want to move it from the top to the bottom. Then what we do? We do top, like 20 pixels. You know top, what does it mean? Top 20 pixels. So you go to the top of the element and push it down 20 pixels. This is kind of here, like when you refresh, you see the element moved without moving other stuff. Okay? it didn't like move the flow of the HTML element. It didn't move. Okay, so let's bring this image here. Oh, take this image to this place. Command S. Okay, so I mean, so what's the use of this? I mean, it's useless. Why you want to move H1 down there? It doesn't make any sense. But there are some effects that you can use, like stylistic stuff. Like, and we're gonna see an example now. Let's, this hidden. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the image.
I need to go to the take the
Like let's say this image. So we want to move it. We're going to give it the position relative. Okay. So we want to bring, like, you know, let's Command S. Yeah. Just bring this back to its place. We want to bring this, like, for, I don't know, for the sake of some stuff, we want to bring it here. To make it look good or some, bring it to the side. You give it a position of relative. Then, if you want to push it to the right, what do you say? You say left. If you want to push it to the right, say left 200 pixels. Okay. Then Command S, refresh. It comes here. Like, let's say, give it 250. Is going to come to the center. And if you want to push it, like, it should be like here down. So you're going to push it like 50. Let's say push it down. So if you want to push it down, what do you say?
Top.
So top, like, push it like 20, 40, like, yeah, 45 pixels. And that's, see? I mean, the point here is you manipulate the thing. It's as if you move it with your hand. Like, you just, you manipulate it. So this is a relative. So to move an element, give it a relative position, then use top, left, right. So there are 4. Top is going to bring it down. Bottom is going to bring it up. Left, right. It's the opposite. Yeah. بحال كتقول شو هادشي دفعوا لنا هاد القضية هادي. Okay. Yeah. Now. So Control Save. This is insofar as this is concerned. Now, when we do, you know, the absolute positioning has 2 elements. So you're gonna give the element the position absolute relative to its container. Okay, I'll explain to you. When you give an element the position absolute, it looks the immediate container that has relative absolute relative positioning. Then it goes to it. Let me just, I need to write this down to prove it. Like, we're gonna give it position absolute. Okay. Now, if we want to bring this image, we want to bring it here. So we're going to give to its container position relative. So what is this white? This white is content, right? Yeah, this is content. So it has already a position relative. I give it. Right position relative. And then you work with top and bottom. So we want to bring it here. So what should we say? We say like top around 20 pixels. And right again like 20 pixels. So see where we're gonna bring it from here into here, like
right.
oh yeah. So if you refresh here and you bring it here. So like relative دابا الاليمنت دابا الا بغينا نجيبو عاود لهاد الاليمنت الثاني غنحيدو هاد البوزيشن ريلاتيف نحيدها من هاد command X هذا الراب هذا هو the gray the dark gray. إلا درنا فيه position relative هي خليناها فيه. إلا درنا فيه هذا check what's gonna happen when you save. When you save, it's gonna go up because we said 2020, but we're gonna put it 00 just to prove this point. غير لصق هنايا في هذا. See? يعني هنا it looks for where is the immediate container that has relative positioning, and then it follows your order. Either you want top, if you want to bring it here, like you say, just top 0, then right to 60.
This is for ramp to see the position relative.
Yeah, the position relative to that.
إلا حيدنا relative ما كاين حتى شي حاجة it defaults to the because we did top 0 to 60. كتقلب على هاد المعايير اللي كتعطيها هنايا top 3 60 ولا right هذا كتمشي تقلب على الكونتينر the immediate one. Okay, الأول if it's container the immediate, if it has the relative, then it applies this top right left bottom. If it doesn't find it, it goes to the next. If it doesn't find it ما كاينش body default. ولكن إلا كان relative هنا it goes to the first one. It goes to the first one. يعني this is like positioning relative to its container. It's immediate container. So, and this is like a powerful thing to know. So now let's take this away. And there's no cancel. There's. غنديرو غير هادي and then we're gonna wrap it up. هادي دابا عندنا بحال imagine عندنا هادي كنا كنهضرو على navigation. Navigation most of the time كلها is like a list items, you know, a bunch of items in a list, an order list, okay? And then to create a navigation, yeah, pretty much like a menu navigation. هذيك المنيو كيكون فوق home هذا it's 99% is an order list. That's an order list, or 99.9%
An order list.
an order list, and you use the floats
In line.
and then the UL, and then that's how you drill down ULLIA. Yeah, for instance here let's turn these into anchor tags, and well, let's go to the
Relative position and other one.
yeah
Oh, they're LI.
yeah, what are they? They are here. Okay, LI. This is how the list is like. Well, let's take it. Let's clear this. Okay, and we create one just very quick. So we want an order list, and within this order list we want LIs. How many? We want like, yeah, let's say 5. Okay, and within these we want an anchor tag. Within anchor tag we want lorem some text, like 3 words, not 1 word. 1 word, yeah, 1. Okay, then you tab, you got everything an order list.
If you anchor tag and the lorem.
Let me Control Z. We need an order list. Within an order list we have a list item. How many we need? 5. And then within this LI we need an anchor tag, and within the anchor tag we need one single word. Then tab it. Okay, so
Oh, so that's for each ref, you're just gonna tell them where to get that anchor from.
anchor tag, the navigation is anchor tags within list items.
Yeah, the navigator, each href.
To link them, yeah, to
take me there.
yeah. And then we don't want them to go anywhere. We put just the hashtag. فاش كدير hashtag, you click on it and you stay within the page.
So looking at it, it's gonna show the other.
Yeah, because it's an A element. Okay, so now if we save and go back here, okay, see, if like any navigation, go disable CSS, and it's gonna show up like this. And with one simple word, you're gonna line them up. So like you see, CSS is very powerful. So we're gonna go to our right. We're gonna go to our style sheet. Okay, so here now we come into. Let me just do it here. Let's go. Get rid of those. Okay, so
CSS.
okay, now we targeting this. What do we want to target? We are gonna go to the unordered list, and we want the list items. Okay, what do we say? We're gonna tell them like display inline. What do you mean? You remember inline element and block element? Inline element, it doesn't push the other one. They coexist, like span and stuff. The block element is just, it pushes everything, because page, if you put something in it, it's gonna push it. تقول كان align يعني بوحدها. H1 tag box. So this simple code is gonna just automatically takes the dots and everything. Refresh, you got yourself something here. And then you see like هذا هو default ديال anchors is blue underline.
It's a link.
Because we don't want them that way. Eh? This is the 80s.
Like background,
Yeah.
black background.
Yeah. So that one is not in LI. That one is the anchor. That one is, and this is how you drill down. You tell the browser, go to the UL, LI, and go to the anchor, and then no. And then you say, we don't want that thing there. Text decoration, none. Save it. There is no lines there.
Still blue.
It is still blue, but we can add. And yeah, we give it like a color. Well, no. Color, yeah, black. Keep it simple. No, color, black, yellow, color, black.
Oh, black.
Yeah, that's kind of what. Black.
Nice.
Okay, so but you know مزاحمين القضية هنا. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, you just like you give it just you apply when you understand margin padding. Apply هذيك anchor tag. Imagine it like as a tiny box. You can have padding, you can have a margin, you can have a background. It's like a small box.
See anchor tag again?
Anchor tag is a link.
Oh, link. Okay.
A link or anchor tag, because that's what A.
Okay.
Well, what we call it an A is an anchor tag.
Oh, okay.
So margin, always we're gonna give it margin to the right, so that not to push this one. Margin right, yeah, I think 20 pixels would do, I guess. Control S. Too a lot. Yeah, just 10, I guess. Yeah. Less. Okay. So okay, and then you could take it to, well, background. Well, let's have background black. Color. Padding. Padding top like.
لا بديت
آه
حيت بزاف
تخمة
تعشيت راني
آه سيدي
And like
تغوت إلا كان فيها
No. now we're turning them into like buttons. Okay, then you could take them. You could do anything here. Like for instance, well, there. Let's padding top and let's bump the padding a little bit to 9 or 8. Control S. See? Then this is CSS 3. This rule coming now is a CSS 3. Radius, let's give it 7 pixels. Control S. So see the effect is going to give it. See?
Oh, nice.
This is before designers, they do this in Photoshop.
Radius.
They take the image and it takes them like a lot. With a single thing, you can just do here.